Oh, let me put my select more photos. Trying to get the selection. Woo. All right. Let's see what I'm going to get. Okay, we're going to put a picture of me. There we go. Oh, that one didn't work. Okay, here I am at work. This is my work. This is what I do. We have a picture of me at work for one reason, is because the first story of being stalked happens right where you're looking at. In fact, it was at that table. That's the table I work with. They're deep tables. You see that? It's a nice picture of me. Me and my kitty cat mask. I'm looking all perfect. Okay. I wear a lot of stuff. It gets very, we have to open up the doors and we have to let, stuff move along. And a lot of times it gets kind of cool. So you have to be, ready for the cold or cooler weather. You're not getting perfect set weather, and you have to, because of the product, be covered up. And that's fine with me. I want people to receive good product. So I met, let's see, it's 2023. I think it was July or August. I'm trying to go back to, it was more or less May. And another person was hired in June, and we had a horrible storm, but she was hired in May and came off as this marvelous person. She went and helped catered, and we did softball, and she brought a bunch of food, and it was a big to do. To make a long story short, that lasted 3 months. And the reason why I tell people 3 to 4 months that you should wait before you have sex, and I know a lot of people have it first and then, get caught up in everything. Well, the thing that happens is people don't really know this. You see, time will always tell if you're with a, not just a sociopath, but a real scary person who a someone who would hire to get you killed and do all that. I could see the person who was stalking me has that. So what happened was everybody thought she was nice. Mind you, I always tell this to everybody. Time will tell with everyone. I have a person that I was working with who told me that they were in a coma for 10 years. I'm like, holy cow! It's impossible to get out of a coma in 10 years and just wake up and you're going to be eating and drinking. No. You don't understand. After 2 years, your body is so atrophied. So you have to learn how to use everything after 2 years. So 10 years, shit. I'm trying to figure that one out. So I'm telling another person I work with, hey, so and so said that they were in a coma for 10 years. Well, he told me 8. Wow, he's getting down another couple years. Maybe the next person he'll tell will be, a lot less, but wow. I have learned at work to keep people at arm's length away, especially people who I'm not going to see. Hey,
Right here.
you're welcome. Thanks. I'm still here. I'm just putting something away. So anyway, we're going to talk about stalking, and it started. She had gotten interested. She only dated managers. Let's just put it that type of person. She didn't just date, the lower. No, she wanted to get in with management and started dating one of the managers. And after, let's see, they May, June, July, August. 4 months later, she proposed to him. The day that she was supposed to propose to him, she went and got a ride from one of her guy friends and told everyone at work that she went to. He told everyone at work that him and her have been having patty cake time, and that day was no exclusion. So when she proposed to her boyfriend, she had already had played patty cake with one person, and then went and proposed to him. And you know what he said? He got sloppy seconds. And I'm like, poor guy. I mean, really, he was a nice guy too. And I felt so bad that she was joking about him getting, you know, like she didn't clean up down there. And yeah, I was like floored. She was really something else. Yeah. So she didn't get in trouble with anything. And she started, and I can tell how people, when they go on here, I can tell when they're on here and they are, how can I say this? She had said that more or less she had stated that I was a horrible human being on here, and she's stating all this stuff. And then she said, you know, you probably go to bed with everybody else but me type thing. And I'm like, you, I don't think you know this, but I'm not going to bed with everybody at work. You are, is what I said. I'm, I rather keep it out of work than in work. And that's how I felt. And then I, got her blocked for the entire night. And it came many times. She came on there and she knew who I had going on there. And she came on there many times stating the fact of how she felt about everything. And this is why there's a picture of me behind here. And we keep everything nice and clean. And that is my table that I have been working on. And that is part of my pyramid. And I said, could you take a picture of me? I like to have a picture of me, you know. Since it's myself, I don't need to have anyone else's, thing. It's me. So here is to everyone at Aztec. We will get more work. Right now, we don't have work right now. And we are, things have been real, just slow. So here's to Aztec. Hi, how are you? Right now, we're talking about stalkers, and my first story happens when I'm at work. This is my table. A lot of times when I train people, I will go on table one, but when I met my stalker the first time, I trained her on this table. Now, mind you, stalkers, uh, she was more or less a person who was infatuated with me because I'm a heterosexual. I'm not interested in both sexes. They call that where the door, you know, switch hit or whatever. I don't care. It's just I'm not interested in both sexes. I'm happy with just thinking about a man that would love me and I'd be happy. So it happened where all the time she was on online and she pretended to be Keanu Reeves. Now I wouldn't have known it if her big mouth wasn't over on the corner. She happened to be very happy, and I guess let's just be honest, everybody thought that she was doing some serious stuff before she came into work and would be all high. So when she would be high, she wouldn't notice nothing, and she'd blab like a big blabbermouth she was. She told somebody that I couldn't see that, and she told somebody that no longer works there that, you want to hear something funny, what I'm doing? I go, you know Keanu Reeves? She goes, yeah, I met him. He's real nice, but I'm pretending to be him, and I'm having Stefania believe that. I got back to my table, and I thought, oh boy, am I going to have some fun here. So you know what I did? That one person who was pretending to be Keanu Reeves, who had met him, who had told another person that they had met him. I said, boy, she's going to really hate this. So I'm on my break and I type, oh man, I gotta tell you some good news. I made sure she was not at work when I do this because that's where you can check work and find out. It was a Tuesday and she had a hard Tuesday and I knew, man, I tell her, the fake Keanu Reeves, that I'm not coming in Wednesday because we're off. She was off. I went to work and I was happy because I didn't have to worry about somebody always wenching like, for sure, for real, for real, for real. I heard for real about 30 to 40 times a day because she didn't have a large vocabulary. So that's all I heard. And now when someone says it, I almost wince because she was just so terribly mean to me. I used to pray every day for her though and say, God, just keep that crazy psychotic bitch away from me, please, God, please. She is psychotic. They can't see it, but boy, I can really see it. She's woo woo woo. So she stalked me for a year and I think 9 months, and it was horrible. I blocked her. I tried to do a lot of stuff. I made a police report on her. I did so much, and you have no protection from stalking. The stalking laws, especially even in Nevada, need to be revised, especially for celebrities who are out there. And when you have, like, what if you're an actor, you're going out, on a red carpet, you might find someone that decides to take Mr. Choppy Choppy and, shake hands with you. There's crazy people. If there's going to make a gazillion fake accounts of Zak Bagans and other people that works with him, then it's something else. So yeah, I got really pissed because she thought it was fucking hilarious. So let me tell you this, if you're watching it and you came from my job and you said, well, I know that story. Well, every time I wanted a couple days off in a row, I told her, I would say, you know what we got Thursday and Friday off. Isn't that awesome? Now I expected her to pick up her paycheck, but I waited until she got home and had her paycheck, or more or less, a lot of times I would hear, yeah, she came and picked up her paycheck and already, and I'm like, oh, am I going to have fun? Because if I told her before she picked up her paycheck, she could ask someone at work. Actually, she had at one time carte blanche to ask anybody at work. That's all she had to do. But she was so fucking stupid and high and getting drunk when she seen the message from the fake Keanu Reeves site that she was running. Yeah, she said to somebody she met them, oh, hi, Brian W. How are you? Where are you from? Oh, and don't forget to put a thumbs up. The thumbs up helps. That's Aztec right behind me here in Pahrump. So anyway, that's my table, by the way. That's table 4. That is Stefania's table. If you ask anybody, yeah. Houston. Oh, I lived in Texas. You guys take your steak seriously. Texas really does. How serious? When I worked over at TGI Fridays over in Schertz, Texas, over in, it would be considered like Cibolo or whatever. Cibolo. Well, anyway, yep, I didn't live too far from, it would be like the Alamo. I was like a half an hour drive to the Alamo. It matters who's driving. You can get there in 20 minutes. Sometimes it's like anything else. You get, slow driving certain times. Yeah. You know what they say in the side of Texas? I'll tell you this. They say, don't mess with Texas because you get your ass kicked. Them Texas boys don't mess. Mm-mm. Oh, I'm telling one guy, he had his he got his, gun on the side, and he's like, someone want to fuck with me, I'm going to get them good. You see their side of Texas here? You see on the side of all of our highways? What does it say? And I said, don't mess with Texas, and I walked away, and he goes, that's right. I had a guy who bitched. I worked at TGI Fridays. I worked in Shorts, Texas, and I'll tell you this much, they did not take that easily at all. I had a guy tell me, this is how I want it cooked. I want you to cook it. I want you to count to five. I want you to turn it over. I want you to count to five. I want you to throw it on the plate, and then I'll give you a really good tip. You go do that? I go, I sure will. I went, put the order in, walked it back, and I said, excuse me, I'm taking this. I counted to five. One, two, three, four, five. I turned over. One, two, three, four, five. Threw it on the plate, ran it out there. Man, that man was so happy. I really did need that $100 tip. I was broke as fucking shit. I have never been so broke in one state, though. They would not believe that I had no money and I was starving to death in that state. I really was. I was starving to death in Texas. I do never want to live there, go there, and drive there. I'm serious. It was that bad. Texas is a horrible state to live in if you're broke. Ah, see? Well, I was broke and the welfare system wouldn't get the fact their welfare system was 20 years behind the times where you go to here, even here, they're like, there's a lot of places, a lot of times when you show that you have a bank account, but there's nothing in it. And I showed them that and they were like, that's not good enough. You got to do this and this step and you got to go. I go, they haven't, I go, I'm thinking to myself, they haven't done that type of shit since the 70s where you have to literally get snail mail. That's how it was. It was horrible. Yeah, they were not very nice, and they did not like my ex-husband because his bullshit stories. They must have realized what a BS artist. So yeah, I sip my shots. I'm glad you're here, but I do. I love if I more or less if I have money, that's a great place to live because there's all kinds of stuff to do. They had a lot of stuff that you could do, but if you're broke and you don't have money, I'm going to be honest, Texas is up there with California. It's exceeded California's spending when I tried to figure this out. You see, a parent, from what I gather, they wanted us to pay. This is back in the day. This is back in 2014. Do you know how expensive it was to live in Texas? It was more expensive to live in Texas than California. And my ex picked that to go to live, and it was more expensive than California. We ended up going to California and living in one of my mom's houses when she was living, and she's a hoarder, so that house was, it took us a year to literally clean it up because it was so nasty. So yeah, well, I would say Prum's pretty cheap compared to Texas. Texas is more expensive than Prum. I'm going to be very more expensive than Nevada and California, you know? So if you're looking to sell, you'll make out like a bandit. I can already tell you that. You will make out like a bandit because Texas is spendy. Very, very spendy. I'm not wanting of all the flash rains and yeah, I got attacked and almost had to go to emergency and had no way to go to emergency because I had no insurance. So here I had my leg just filled with welts from those. They have these nasty ants there that attack you to the point where it is fucking scary. I seen my life flash before my eyes. It was scary. I got bitten really freaking good. Yeah. So I would have to have money to go there after they denied me welfare and I was actually starving to death because I was feeding my kids. I wouldn't feed myself. I went almost if I didn't work at a restaurant, I would not be able to afford to eat. Yeah. So it was pretty bad in Texas. I was starving to death in Texas. Mhm. I was starving. People, my neighbors were so great. They'd give us food and stuff. And I was trying, my ex was always, I got it and my ass hurts. If my family was fucking starving, I'd put on a motherfucking diaper and work my ass off. But when you marry a sociopath, you won't get that. You really won't. Like a friend of mine said, your husband says bad things behind your back. And I'm like, wow. So yeah, that's what kind of, yeah. Anyway, we're going to talk about stalking. Sorry, I get out of contents. I'm so sorry, Brian. Oh yeah, it is. It took a long time. I went to California and I found out because my mother stole my identity that I couldn't work with money for 7 years, and it was almost over. Is what my stepdad laughed. He says, "Isn't that funny? She got Broyhill under my name." And we're talking about stalking, so let's talk about my first stalker case, which was when was told by I was told by the state of California that even though I can go and take a 3 month, this is what I was told by California, that even though I wanted to work as, I could work as someone behind the, working for the state of California, as for 3 months, I can learn and go to school to work for the state of California, or I can be in a 2 year to learn paralegal, which, by the way, you don't make money. Most of the time, you don't get off the system. This is how they're thinking. Well, we'll just keep her on the system and put me through a paralegal thing, which is going to community college. I was told I would have to go to community college to learn this because even though I could get out the system faster, they'd rather have me do community college. And I thought that was really weird. Okay, well, whatever. So I went and did community college, and there was like, I took all the classes that I needed to. There's two spots for fun time, is what I call it. I could get classes I didn't need to pass. So I did. I got some classes that were fun, and it was in acting. So I had an amazing woman, and every so often because she had an illness that would cause her to have certain problems. And we were cool. She was such an upbeat woman. It was the guy in the class. He came from jail, and he we would have what we call love notes. When you do acting, it's very hard, and sometimes you have a hard time telling people how to do things to make you do stuff better, because you're not being a bitch, you're saying, hey, this and this. Well, he sent one in, and we had everyone atone who they did. They just grabbed up what they said without me knowing. And we configured, since the guy wasn't there the next day, that it was him, that he said that he wanted to go out with me and all this stuff. And I didn't answer him because I didn't even read the love notes. So, anyway, a guy from my acting class became infatuated with me. And before I knew it, every class he was following me to. He followed me to all my classes, and then after about a month, I told my teachers, and they got involved. Yes, and they did end up arresting him. They found the night that they had arrested him, they thought it was somebody who went to the bathroom with him that was from my class, said that they think that he had a knife or whatever. And just to call things out and then make sure that I was safe, he was with his girlfriend taking the class. Both of them were going to be paralegals, and she had said, "Hey, go in the bathroom and just." It was his girlfriend who was being really nice, and I thought, that was just so sweet because she saved my life. Because the guy was, they just said we don't. There's no weapons on property. So I didn't have to get any order. He was pretty much, I don't know what they did, but I never seen him after that. But it was scary for a while. I actually had like a bunch of people walk out with me when they heard that. So it was pretty cool, that they took care of it very well. That was at Victor Valley. That was at Victor Valley College. And then the second time was my own sibling, my brother. Uh, I had friends over in Oak Hills because I lived there. My brother found a friend purposely there, yes, purposely, so he could stalk me. And he did for quite some time. He used to ride motorcycles and dirt bikes, and he went and rode dirt bikes right behind my house, taking pictures and sending them to me and trying to scare me. You see, my brother also has been time in San Quentin, so I said, I've never been to San Quentin. Would you like to take another visit? And then he realized, I was documenting everything and letting the police know. Yeah. So when you do this, document everything. Even if it's a call and they hang up, document it. What number is it from? Document it. Document everything. Pictures. If you have to, hey, Grandma Nelson, who drove by the car? Oh, I seen it. It was old Larry. He went and did that. Get that. Keep that on you. Document everything. Do not allow this person, if you can do it, have it where they don't have, won't see you. Now, if you know somebody that is stalking another person and you're allowing it and you think it's funny, I hope to fucking God you get stalked twice as much as what your friend did. I do not like people who stalk other people. I do not find it funny, and I do not make jokes about it. Because when it happens 4 times to you and you didn't ask for it, the last, I'll be honest, the last time, I just thought she was nuttier than a Christmas fruitcake. After 3 months, it was like everyone would agree. No one really wanted to work with this person because she would come in so drunk. No one realized that she came with coffee, but it was like she was on something else. I don't think she was drunk. I don't know what she was on. It was just working with a scary monster. That's what I worked with. I worked with a scary monster for, you know, 9 months. And they were 9 months too long. It should have been after 2 months that she had many, many no calls, no shows. I would have said, nah, bye. So that was my last one. My first one was in community college, and my second one was my own brother. And my third one, yeah, well, we always have, certain people. Apparently, I was working at a fireworks store. It has the alien logo, let's just put it that way. And they are really nice to people. Unfortunately, one of the managers had I guess you would say, how my dad used to joke about ugly masks, and some people need 5 or 6 bags. I would have needed 10 bags for him because I wouldn't want that to go off in public. He was not a nice person. He was kind of, let's just put it this way, he wasn't easy on the eyes, and he wasn't very nice. And I didn't, my cat's doing something funny, putting his head in my slippers and getting it, he's walking. Quit. You're being cute. Linda! Linda! It's Linda! Hi, Miguel. How are you? Put a thumbs up. It helps. Helps with the algorithm. Put a thumbs up. Thumbs up. So, anyway. Yep, yep. When you get anybody who is stalking you, my third stalking, it really wasn't, it was somebody who thought that I would date them. And let's just put it this way. They were not pretty. They were not smart. They were not anything. They were not a wonderful person. So I said to them, "Oh, I don't know how to say no, but I do not want to say yes." So I tried to figure out a way to say it, but before I could, we got interrupted. And he said, "Well, fine, you can say no," and he walked away. I got sued 2 weeks later. I got sued for not dating this guy, and he started stalking me. And then the stalking quit. I didn't really worry about it because I knew that he'd find a new person, and that happened, and everything went away, and that was it. But yeah, that was weird. I was actually, he tried to sue me. He sent me something in the mail that I never received, and that's the way it went. He was just like my brother went and he took a knife. This is what he did, and he was driving around with a motherfucking knife, took it and put it in my driveway. And my ex go, your crazy brother was here. I go, oh no, he's been stalking me for the past couple weeks. Cause let's just put it this way. He went on stalking mode and it was really creepy. So finally I said, if you don't shut up, I'm gonna call my dad. I'm gonna ask him to contact your boss, and I'm gonna leave video of what I just had and what you just did. And then he quit doing it because he didn't want me to send video of him putting a knife in you know how you have like dirt, and then you have like your concrete slab where you put your cars. He put it in the dirt sticking up. I'm going to get scared. I told him he's welcome. He comes in here. In my house, I told him he's not walking out. I said I gotta protect my kids, so I will not need. I told him I will not need a knife, nor will I need a gun. I could do it with my hands. Come on, hun. And he never did, so I never had to. Yay! Thank you. Hey, John! John, my man. Woo, woo. John's in the house. Woo! John's in the house. So we're talking about stalking, and I talked about my first stalking. I've been stalked 4 times. I do not take it lightly. I do not make jokes about it, because when it's done, when you're going through it, the only thing you could think of, do they want to kill me? Do they want to hurt me? What is the reason? Because that's not a normal, that's, and if you have somebody who is stalking a person, the best thing to do is to make sure they cannot contact you. Another thing is to make sure you're safe. I call it the buddy system. I don't care if you're a big, burly, 6'10" man, buddy system, because you need witnesses. You really need witnesses. So I've heard stories, but never seen it, where women have been like, they'll videotape themselves. I even, for a joke, oh shoot, let me show you what I bought a while back. Oh, it's so funny. Woo-hoo. So I've been busy doing stuff. Oh, let me see. Yeah, right here. So I've been cleaning up and finding stuff, so I gotta put stuff away, and it takes it a little bit. Nope, don't detect my feet. Nope, nope, my feet. See this? You can take this and you can point it like this. Say you're walking, you're doing your usual walk, and crazy pants happens to come up to you. He's stalking you. You're with your friends. Now, if you're walking alone, it's more scary, but you also want to keep video on hand. This is really good. I bought this about, I think, 5 or 6 years ago, and it holds anything. It's pretty good. So you want to have as much to give to the police. You want to have, a proof. So I always tell people, the only thing that I had to deal with my last stalker was they were mainly online, and that's the hardest stalker to prove, especially if they're saying really bad, untruthful things about you. But you think about this, when you're dealing with stalkers, all of them, not just some, all of them are mentally unstable. So if they're stalking you, I have I've seen an amazing documentary about it. My only so yeah, I'm it's not meeting. All these people have been met in places that I have to. Let's see, the men, they weren't men. The last person was someone I worked with was a female. That's why we have the picture behind me. That's my table there. That's table 4. That's where I've been doing, that's where, see, here's my pyramid. Here's me waving. I got a new mask. If you notice, it's a kitty cat mask. And I met my one stalker at work. It was a woman. Breaking Bad. You're funny. Uh, we're just, you know what the thing is? Taking it home when you just look like you've been smelling your product a bit too much. Let me go get that. Let's see. Oh, that snorting thing. Oh, straw, yeah. Let me go get that. The first one I worked at, I was at Victor Valley Community College, and it was my acting class. And he had told me that he had fallen in love with me. Mind you, he met me for an hour. He was in love with me, and it went from there. And he was not mentally ill there, and I did not want nothing to do with him. I really had other things to deal with besides a lovesick guy who wanted to, stalk me. Really, that's all he did. And then my second one was I worked over at the fireworks place, and I told the guy pretty much no. I mean, they couldn't pay me enough to go out on a date with that guy. So he got in contact with a lawyer and tried to sue me. But it never worked because I didn't pick up. This is pick up your mail at the. They want you to pick it up the mail at the post office to make sure it's your actual address so they could sue you. So I never did. Yeah. So it's so good to see you. Now, and then my third one was it's like it just the fourth one was at work, and I was electronically, and it's fun. So here, that's why I showed the picture. This is like my my sexy attire at work. I do not wear nothing sexy. I wear big, baggy clothes. And I really do not care to entice anybody because there's nobody there to entice. Let's just, I realized, yeah, it's nice and comfortable, but I am, how can I say this? I rather not wear, my grandma used to call them yoo-hoo outfits. My dad used to call them hooker wear. I call them want to screw everybody. And I figured out, it's just better this way. I usually wear a pair of shorts, and then I wear like something else over just in case I do get a little bit too hot. I do not like to work hot, and if I got extra clothing. So what transpired, they eventually move on, but there are some stalkers. I've heard horror stories, and they really do scare me. Is it's 38, almost an hour. Yeah, I really couldn't believe it. Some of these I've heard. Let's see, my ex stories. I used to see a bunch of stuff when I would date this one guy that lived next door, a celebrity. He lived next door to Zak Bagans. And I used to sit there and think, God, I wonder if Zach knows how crazy this guy is that I'm dating. And I kept thinking to myself, one day we had spent the whole day together. And he goes, I'm going to go downstairs. And, he has a woman he has to check on. And he would check on her every so often. Well, what happened was he came up and he said, what was it? He said, she's dead. What are we going to do? Call 911 and have the ambulance come. I'm not going to, what do you want? I mean, that's the first thing that came to mind. And I'm like, what, did you kill her? So here we are. Since this is just me, I'm talking about stalkers. Do you have anyone? Am I the only idiot that gets stalked 4 times? Now, I would say that the second, yeah, more or less, that the other stalkers were not that bad. It would be the first and the last stalker that I had were the most horrible. My brother being a stalker is not a stalker because I knew too much shit about him to have him come and want to mess me up. And I put a stop to it right away, though. The first week, oh yeah, because I had to get in contact with people that you have PR people to get in contact with. Finally, I did, and I sent him all the pictures and said, I'm tired of being stalked. Please tell Dingleback to quit this shit. It's done. He's a little on, my brother is a whole lot on the crazy. I'm hoping that this person that my brother was dealing with has, I don't know if he, oh yeah, that's a reason why I got off of Twitter. My brother was causing me problems with a certain person that's a celebrity that he's real close with. And I'm like thinking, does he really know what kind of piece of work my brother is? I mean, my brother's scary as fuck. He's done some very bad things to people, so I don't even contact him to get him riled up. I really don't. But he doesn't like Nevada, so it makes me feel happy. Yeah, because Nevada hits him hard. If you're from California and you come here and you do something bad, they fuck you good. They bend you over and they have turns, man. Yeah, they don't mess. I'm already telling you that. Don't come here from California thinking that you're going to be. I'm from Cal. No, no, they going to get you good. Oh yeah, no loop used at all. Hmm. The best way to avoid it is to avoid that person. If you do not work with them and they live on your block and they're on the opposite side, you have no reason to go and see their crazy ass, and don't do it. Do not poke a piece of shit and make it stink. That's the best way to do it. Leave them fuckers alone. They're crazy and they're not mentally sound. So my theory is if they think that you signed their autograph and you are their boyfriend, they're nutty. Okay? Just like I always say, the best way to do it is to be as kind as possible. They used to have it, and thank God now, I really rather where people talk about walking up to a celebrity's door and knocking on, they need their privacy. When they are out and about and they are signing autographs is when you approach a celebrity. That is the only reason. You do not be going to their door and knocking on them. I would never go to Zak Bagans' house and knock on his door and expect him to answer it and see me because he does not know me from Adam. Why would he come out and want to? He don't know me. I wouldn't go to his house. I don't care if I had friends all around living near him. No, that's just not right. He needs his time. He needs his thing to be, you know. So that's where I'm in with that. I really, after being stalked 4 times and having people think that, how can I say this? Stalkers don't think that it's being stupid. My son keeps calling. He tells me, "Hey, I'm down the street." So, yeah, I couldn't believe that I think that when you deal with somebody who has the reason why the last person was so hard because she was given a shitload of power over people who were there way before her who she didn't give a rat's ass about coming in. And when she pretended to be, when my coworker pretended to be uh, Keanu Reeves, you just draw the line, stepped over it, and expected me to step back and draw a new line. No, fuck it, we're gonna have fun. I'm gonna fuck with you. She told a coworker that no longer works there that she was Keanu Reeves. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have so much fun. We got Wednesday off. And she go, oh yeah, yay. She would take that off and she'd come in with an excuse. Yeah? Hey, come on in, Dev. Okay, I'll be there in a minute. My cat loves Devin. Oh, yeah. So recently, my next door neighbor's dogs killed almost all my chickens except my rooster. So my ex went there and he said, "Hey, they come in your yard? We're going to shoot them." I'm like, "Oh crap." I was hoping he was going to ask them for, "Hey, could you buy about 6 chickens? We'll call it even. Not chickens, but full chickens." Yeah. And yeah, it is what it is. So anytime you have somebody that is stalking you, take lots of pictures, take lots of notes, tell people exactly what's going on. Have the buddy system and the neighborhood system. If your next door neighbor likes to look out the front porch every evening and has a shitload of cameras around his house, and that person likes to go on a certain side of your house, because let's say you're watching your pennies and you put the cameras where normal people go, but this person wants to go on the other side. I have heard stories where neighbors were watching out for a woman who was being stalked and they end up catching them. You hear all kinds of stuff. Like I said, bundle up when you get stalked and get lots of friends, because when you're being stalked, it could be a matter of life or death. I had a lot of friends, and I didn't even know I had, like, the couple who found the guy who was my stalker in the bathroom. He was like real close to me, and I didn't even know. I didn't even know. They told me he had, like, duct tape and a knife. Go figure that one out. That was my first stalker. Duct tape and a knife. What do you think he would have done? I could have just imagined. Yeah. So if you're smart like me, and I told everybody, because I was like, dude, this guy is nuttier than a Christmas fruitcake. Yeah. Oh, I wish I had more people here. And then I could, if I had more people here, I'd want to get, like, what I'm going to do is try to get, I'm going to see how much it's going to cost to get my pooter fixed, but with no money coming in, you're like, ah. So I am drinking Delish Pickleback. This is really good.
Don't you want your pizza?
Yeah, yeah. Could you give me a slice on that square plate that I washed that's in the drainer? My kid's good. I am so lucky. Yeah, I told Devin this is what I want, and he was, well, pick it up on my, hey, do whatever whatever's easier. So he picked it up. He goes, I'm going to just pick it up on my ride, because I told him I really want to, I haven't been high all day, so I said I want to smoke some weed because I had to get some shit done. He goes, okay. So here's to everybody, to all my friends in Nevada, Aztec secret, I miss you. Here's to all my friends at Aztec. Well, let me show you some. Oh, thank you, Devin. See, I am so lucky. See? Nubbies. And it's really hot. Man, my kid does work hard. I'm just going to drink water with this, but I really want soda pop. I'm trying to break that. Okay. There we go. Okay, this is my favorite one. This is the monks, the Philistine monks, painted what's behind me. But they said that's where angels come from. That's their home. Sea artwork that depict where angels come from is what Hubble had. I want to get a tattoo like that. Put it on my arm, like, because it's a figure 8. And it looks like an eye. Look, does it look like an eye? Does it look like, it looks like an eye. There's an eyeballer there. I watch the videos and take the pictures. I'm like, woo, that's pretty fucking cool. Rewind it. Okay. So I love everybody at Aztec. I think they're beautiful people. I miss my boss. She's so beautiful. My boss, I feel, is a kindred spirit. She's so beautiful. She's a goddess. She's a goddess. I love her as a human being. And that's what, I worry about my friends and stuff. And I think to myself, I just keep praying for everyone and for all, anyone going through a situation. But yeah, I love you guys. I just miss you. I think I'll have another piece here. Oh, is that delicious? Yeah, it was my suggestion. Because I was like, I don't feel like cooking. You feel like cooking? No. Okay, well, guess what? I do too, John. I'm working hard. I do. Well, I don't think we actually find peace until we die. I mean, just to be honest, this is a whole learning. You want to know how my father told me about angels and all that stuff? A long time ago, I was 12 years old. My family, that's the year that you start learning stuff. I've been homeschooled for years about psychic stuff. Do you know a game I got for one April? My grandma got me. You know what games we used to play? Let me see if I can find it here. I had to put it away. Oh, here it is. My family, we used to play this. Oh, well, it comes with all cool shit, I have you just put like a thing to go, between the boards and ask it stuff. This is what I learned at the age of 12. We went to a yard sale, and my grandma goes, "Woo, this looks fun." And I'm like, oh, seeing her heartbeat go. Boy, she was skipping down the thing. Boy, Grandma, you just look so happy. We're going to have so much fun. And we did. We had a blast. Comes with cards, too. Oh, let me show you that. I was like, I didn't show you the cards that it comes with. Ooh, is that fun, too? My grandma was really good at the cards. We played a game. If my grandmother can get all of them, we would have to do certain chores that she had to get us to do really hard. She got every one of them right and didn't even see. You know how, people have to see what it is type thing? We just pulled it. It was brand new. It was at a yard sale, but it was brand new. So we opened it up. She goes, "Don't let me see." No, we're gonna. So she had wanted us to clean something of a room of ours or something, and we kind of skirted it and got able to like skirt it, and she was getting kind of testy on all of us grandkids. So this is what happened. She told us everything. Yeah, this is check mark. Me, I don't know. I'm not gonna say. I haven't played it in a while. Okay, there. They have repeating ones. Yeah, check mark, arrow. Uh, and that's about it, you know, the gist of it. Different color cards. And that was it. She loved to do that. Boy, we were like freaking out because we just opened the pack and didn't even know what was in them. Like, you know, it could have been whatever. She was like, yeah, she got us to do our chores that way. It was okay after a while, and then it was like, yeah, we're not going to do that. We usually got nagged to the point where we end up doing it. I loved my grandmother, but God, Lord, she was the nagging goddess at times. That's what I told her. What did I get? She hadn't talked to me for 2 days. She played the game of my grandfather tell me what to do. Then she said, I don't mean to do that. It's because I care. And that's true, though. I care. One time she nagged us so bad to get like some butter. Then we were halfway to my grandma's house. My aunt goes, "Oh crap, do we get butter?" And I go, "No." She goes, "Let's just go to Country Boy." So we went to Country Boy. This is in Colton. Get the butter. Get back home. All right. And Grandma goes, "Why is this one from Country Boy?" And I go, "Well, you nagged us so much about the damn butter, I forgot about it." And I walked away. Love that woman. And she goes, "I nag you." I go, "And I love you, Grandma." And I went up to her and I'd hug her, and she goes, "All right, get going. My kitchen now." She kicked us out. I loved the kitchen my grandfather built. I really did. It was made just right. And it was just, I have so many good memories of me cooking cookies with her. She had the pull out type of things worked fine, and they were great. But let me tell you the bad thing, the reality of those, they're wood. You cut on them. You get wood pieces. Yeah. Over time, you know, you would have to have a pull out that would be where it wouldn't leave pieces. And besides that, it was great. We make dozens of grandkids. All us grandkids got to cook and make our own cookies. My brother didn't wash his hands. He cooked his own cookies. It was like, don't eat them. We're not even cooking it. It was literally a white, you know how dough is. It was gray. It was, my grandma's like, no, we're throwing that away. You know. But us grandkids, we learned about cleanliness, washing your hands before you do stuff, and you know, you roll it out, you do all that. You know, that's what it's all about, you know. And I miss that. My grandma's kitchen was so special. It wasn't fancy by far. It wasn't gorgeous. I've seen gorgeous kitchens. It was just right. It was cozy. And to me, it felt like home because my grandma made it like that. My mom, let's just put it this way. I don't give a shit what house that woman could not cook. Oh, Lord. They always say we have a diner here called Mom's, and it says, it tastes like we stole your mother. And I go, oh, no, it don't. It tastes way better than my mom's. Way better. It tastes like you stole my grandma, not my mom. Like, we got to get that right now. But I hope I do find peace. But usually people find peace at the end. Like, when you're dying, when you're going to heaven. I want to find not just peace, but my wowie zowie man. Someone to share my life with, you know? I know I don't plan on going on any dates with anyone that I meet 2 days prior, talking to them, and they tell me a bunch of song and dance thinking that I'm, what was it, like a lonely old biddy. I'm not a lonely old biddy. I don't have to worry about getting dicky, okay? I want a relationship. I abstain from sex because I'm waiting for somebody. Hello? Men don't get it, you know? And I really haven't had any. And I really, right now, I can I can have battery operated boyfriends right now. I'm just like gotta get my shit together. I got a bedroom that scares the crap out of me. Reminds me of Hoarders Anonymous, Shit. My bedroom's gotta be dealt with. I gotta deal with the RV, and then I got stuff in the dining room and the living room and in the other room. But the bedroom, first of all, needs to be done. It's bad. I used it as storage, and some of the stuff didn't stay contained, so it's just like everything just. It's like room and a big room. It's like the Sanford and Son a song when they play the thing. Do 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 do. That's what I feel when I drive in. It's not like the Regal song. Da 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 da. It's like now it's Sanford and Son song. Do 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 do. Yeah, well, like garbage here, garbage there. I pick up garbage everywhere. So yeah. So. Oh yeah, where do I find these guys? They find me, and I've just finally come to the point, if I meet someone and they want to meet me, they want to take me out to eat, I want to see a movie, you know? Yeah, so that's what I'm hoping for. And now, right now, I'm just kind of like afraid to go on any dates. Ah, anything. If somebody else is paying, oh fuck. I'm gonna be like, Yahoo! Oh, excuse me. Damn. Where's my cat? It was Bobby. He's right on the floor, burping and farting. Bobby, quit burping and farting. See? It was him. There you go, yep. And that's where I'm at right now. I rather abstain from sex. And that's what I'm doing, like with sex with other people. I'm dealing with Bob right now, battery operated boyfriend. That's been my safe bet so far. I know when it's charged and it makes me happy, and I don't have to explain anything or drive anywhere to do anything with it. I just lock my door and, it is what it is. I put on my TV real loud and, I can have fun with myself. Hey, that's just the point blank. I rather do that. Ooh, let me show you my shoes. Oh, all right, I went to the outlet stores. Yeah, pretty much. I'm gonna say if you're a healthy person, all right, if being that I'll be honest with you, I felt morbidly big, but I was just a very thick girl, and I had sleep apnea. In fact, my daughter, this is when we first moved into this house, she had said, Mom, do you know what I want for my birthday? And I'm like, oh, because she's a December child, and she wished that I would lose weight because she had said, I want you to watch this video. And I sat and watched a video of me not breathing for 2 minutes. She woke me up after that. I was having severe nightmares of me not breathing and being underwater. Yeah. So I started, I went on an app and I started keeping track of what I ate. Everything I put in my mouth, including water. So you can be in your 40s, and if you're morbidly obese, the medical field don't put your body in your heart, because your heart, no matter how big our bodies get, my heart stayed the same. So I was going through sleep apnea. I had the opposite of high blood pressure. I had what's called low blood pressure, literally, where you can almost go into a coma from that, or something to that point, like where you can like nod off while driving type thing. Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know if it's true, but that's what one of my coworkers told me. Not at work here, but when I was living in Michigan, and I was like, wow. So when I moved here, I started to realize that a lot of it was catching up to me and making me feel shitty. I felt like I was older than what I was, and it took 12 years. So I was still trying to lose weight, but I had moved into this house and I gave up, and my daughter said, "Please try again because you're scaring me." So I buckled down and I lost my weight, because all I can hear in the back of my head would be, Mom, I don't think you're going to last very long. And that's what she said. She felt that. So I went and, went on an app, and I started keeping track of everything and started doing exercises. And after a while, I changed, I quit eating meat and went to vegetarian. Not vegan. I can't do vegan. I can't give up certain things, and I do love my cheese. It's just, it is what it is. I tried their cheese. It smelled like, what was it my son said? like like feet fungus. And it really did. It is a blessing. My children are blessings. My daughter is, she hates when I call her this. She's the same exact size as my grandma. Wow. And I call her mini me because she's shorter than me, so same exact size as my grandma. By the time I was 12, my grandmother looked up at me, and I said, Grandma, I don't care how tall I get. She goes, why? And I go, because you'll still be able to reach your arms and get my ears. Yeah, she had a thing for like pulling your ears. So you didn't want to, piss her off. She was good at that. She'd be like, we call her Ninja Grandma. She'd just be, and you'll be like, whoa. I miss her. I miss my grandfather too. He always was like, he called my brother Sneaky Pete. He came up with that nickname, and it stuck. My brother was always stealing. Yeah. Let's see. I was I was the only one he called. I was his princess. And then you had like Natalie was the smart one. She was smart. And she lives now in Big Bear. Married her high school sweetheart and had a couple kids. It's nice. Two or three, I think two. God, it's so bad. I need to contact some of my cousins again. Oh, cool. You're nice and tall. Oh, oh, me. I'm 5'7". Yeah, my grandma was about 4'10". I was taller than my grandmother. She was a shorty, and I loved her. She was Polish. Oh, my daughter. Yeah, she's about 4'10". She's going through some problems because she's gained quite a bit of poundage herself, and I'm worried for her because she's going to be, well, she's still in her early 20s, but that's a lot of anything to do with the heart. You don't want to be a person that's morbidly obese because your blood has to go through all that weight to get to there, and it's a lot of usage. So, yeah. Oh, you got Polish too? Oh, Polski. Oh, you know where they used to get the male and female models in the 70s? Poland. My dad told me. Oh, my dad, if you made Polish jokes, that's the fastest way I piss him off. So I quit saying Polish jokes. I used to know a buttload of them because I was a bartender back in the day at a gentleman's club. I bartended. Yeah. And my dad said, "Don't you ever tell me that again." He goes, "Your Polish family is way smarter than the German one." And then my dad showed the difference. My dad was right. The Polish side, the smarties. The German side, not so much. They're living in RVs. Yeah, a lot of the German ones are living in RVs. I'm not going, it's just, my grandfather, though, he built our house at 575 Grand Avenue. The reason why I'm telling you the address, we don't live there no more, so it's across the haunted football field. Oh, trust me, it is haunted. We used to see shit all the time from that football field. Lights and shit. Oh, all the time. Yep. Yep. I try to be funny. Now on, my whole new thing is, I sit there and I'll make jokes. Mermaid Man came up to me. No, I don't call him Menard no more. I call him Mermaid Man. Or Menard. But he'll come up to me, "Hey, old lady," and I look at him, "Okay, Mermaid Man." And then I have my Mermaid Man song. My Mermaid Man song goes like this: Mermaid Man, without a tan, his head in the sand. La 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 la. And then he'll go, "One of these days," I go, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, right to the moon." Ah, he's like my brother. He really is. Ooh, that's good. So, what I'm drinking is pickleback shot. It's called Delish. It's pretty good. I drink it because it God dang, it's better than when you take pickle juice and you do it separate. It's all mixed in. It's like amazing. Ah, that's good. So all I'm doing is pouring into myself. I'm not being stalked. I'm so lucky. I'm blessed. Oh shit! I'm not being stalked. Yay! Oh god. Oh, you gotta try that. Oh my god, that warms you up. That was so good. I just sip my stuff though. I usually just sip it. I just love the taste. Oh, and it's get the spicy. You want the one that is spicy. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. It is so good to see you, John. Though you're a good friend, so it's good to talk with you. Oh yeah, it's gotta be spicy. I looked at it and they had. I first seen the non-spicy. I'm like, oh no 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 no, because I tried it in two of them. You know the little shot things. It's like you try it. You know, cheaper than buying it. Oh Lord, I was in love. Makes you want to go and buy some spicy pickles, and then you're going to go by that section. This is what's going to happen. You're going to buy the section where you're going to buy the alcohol, and you're going to be looking for that spicy vodka or whatever. Oh yeah. I wonder what the calorie. It just says government warning. According to Surgeon General, people who drink a lot end up blabbing a whole lot, and you might end up losing a lot. You know, going on social media, talking smack about people, you know, and pissing off people. Nah. Nah. That's why Omega's sipping. You sip before you dip. So I believe in having fun and having a good time. And that's what I really, you know, enjoying myself and good vibes. Anyone that starts talking, blah, 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 I just walk away, you know, kind of, all right, I'll go to a different section area or whatever. You know, so that's where I'm at, you know, pour into myself. Mm, mm, mm. So I'm just happy. Oh, and I gotta show you my new shoes. Oh, I know. I bought them last week. I didn't know it was gonna not be working. No, I'm not taking them back. Oh God. Dun 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 dun. $30. Mm. Spent 107, and I bought 3 pairs of shoes. And let's see, these two. Oh, that's spent. Yeah, we got to get caught up, John. Yeah, I just pretty much let it roll over me. I really do. I'm not perfect. I'm like, yeah, but you know what? I'm happy. Everything's working out fine. Everyone, there hasn't been no big arguments. No, you know, it's just, it gets old. Drama gets old after a while. It's, you know, we got so much to live for, you know. And that's how I look at it. I got a lot of brothers, though. I really do. The one brother I miss is the manager is not there. He was my fun brother. He was like do all kinds of weird stuff around there. He would It was like working with someone who could be kind of like a monkey, you know? If that makes sense. They're very good at jumping and going. Oh, it was like working with a trapeze artist. I had a friend that was from a family of that. And in California, they had a big trapeze thing. I got to go on it. And they hook you up with this thing. It's fucking cool. Hey, I had cool friends, all right, you know? They actually belonged to our church and they were very, very religious. They believed in God. So, yeah, a lot of times she ran what was it? The school in there. That's when I had fun. When they brought, like, parents and stuff because, God, those nuns are so mean. And that priest, ooh, he hated me. It is what it is. My dad and him didn't get along, and he did not like his child. So, buy an electric toothbrush. Oh my God, it's amazing. It's like clean sex for my mouth. No, it just feels so good and clean afterwards. It's a way better way to, brush your teeth. I know. I just I just want to have a good time in my life and I want to put out good vibes because that's going to like attract something good. Shoot. I've been joking at work. I go, and I'll sit there and I'll say, Menard, you need to put my fake boyfriend songs on. Because I don't want to sound like, a crazy stalker. He's not my boyfriend, You know, I'm not rapping, I'm crapping, you know. Yeah, I love Cal and all the stuff he sings about, and you know, and they're really great. And I tell him to put my fake boyfriend songs on, and he goes, all right, all right, all right. He likes to play his stuff too. So, yeah. Well, I'm gravitating towards positivity. No more negative. Oh, God. And I'm afraid to go on any more dating sites. Jesus Christ. I go over there. The place is so scary, man. I feel like miniature, like this is like the, miniature, like convenience apartments. His place smelled kind of weird. Yeah, that kind of weird smell where you're like thinking, well, after we have sex, will you kill me or what? And dispose of the body? Well, that's what it just smelled weird and everything. And then he goes, yeah, I got an ankle bracelet. Oh, never mind. You didn't have, you're just a dirty motherfucker. So I just said, no, I'm not attracted to you. And I left. Of course, you know the whole story, John. I prayed. Oh boy, did I pray. Ooh-wee. Yes, I did. Because stupid me. Yeah, that will never happen again. New rule, Omega. No, no, no weed until you get back home. Because if that's not going to work out, you're going to have to be praying again. Oh, geez, God's going to be like, I don't know, she's a repeat offender. Oh, geez, we're not going to have to do it. Nope, nope. This time you're on your own. We're going to just watch you. I don't want to take that chance. I don't want God to go, I don't know, man. Maybe we'll get for 50-50, maybe we'll make it slow half the time and we'll see how well that weed works. And then If she's having a hard time, we'll make it a little bit slower, but we'll make her know that this is the last time, you know. These are things that go in my head when I'm high. So when I got you guys, I blab. So, karma. Oh, God, no. I don't steal from anybody. When my friends, we go shopping and they happen to leave something behind, even if it's a lip gloss that they wouldn't have noticed it was gone. But I still, hey, you know what you left behind, Sarah? Yeah, you left your lip gloss. Oh, well, I could have kept that and kept my mouth shut, huh? She laughs, and I go, no, karma's just that. Yeah, two of my lip glosses will end up getting missing or something. Yeah. So it's not fun. No. See? That's why you learn your lesson. These are the things that go through Omega's head when she's really high and really quiet, and you're thinking, God damn, she's probably crazy as shit. She's probably planning some shit. Here I'm thinking, I wonder what God would say if you wanted to go and you came up into heaven and you have like you lost your leg and he figured you didn't want your leg and you go, no, God, I want. These are the things that's going through my head. I'm all serious looking, doing my shit, and quiet. And then you're thinking, I wonder what she's thinking. And I'm thinking, God, I wonder if God would just, if it would be a fight, or he'd go, oh, hell, you just, here's your leg, you know? I actually thought that through the whole day one time. And I'm not even joking. And I don't even know how I came to that thought. I really don't. It's like you're, in that frame of mind. And I would get real quiet. Or if I had a problem that was going on and I wanted to solve it, how was I going to do it? I had to think about it. I had to think about the problem. So if I'm going through a problem or whatever, I try to solve it in my head and I get real quiet and I'm trying to solve that problem. Then once that problem's solved and stuff, I become a chatterbox. But that's how I always was. My dad would go, yeah, stuff's trying to. He would come up to my room. You got real quiet. What are you trying to solve? And I'd tell him what I was going through. If I was going through a problem at school or I was actually having homework problems, what was going through my head. Because a lot of times I would just become a hermit in my room and just worry about this stuff. And my dad would check up on me. I think he was really psychic because he always had that good timing. He would come up just as I really needed him, and he would go, hey, you know, you come up with a problem, you have something going on, and you go, yeah. And you would tell him what was going on, and he would go, oh, okay, well, let's figure out a problem together. So we'd always take care of stuff, and that would make a lot of my friends go, wow, you gotta, you guys have, we have a decent relationship. But once I turned 12, I thought I was Jesus Christ superstar. That's what my dad used to call me. Yeah, he could sense it. I was getting real quiet, and it's like, we better find out what's going on. If I was real sad, I didn't eat. So my dad knew, like he used to joke, you're 78 pounds. If you get any skinnier, they'll think you came from Auschwitz. And I go, what's that? And he goes, well, yeah, they had in fourth grade all the, we had to deal with the Holocaust. And I finally found out. I go, oh, hell no. I used to like, you know, make sure that I did eat enough so I wasn't too skinny. So, yeah, you would go. Yeah, one time I got too skinny at work, and I was called French fry legs. Oh, look at them legs, man! French fry legs. Look at that. Yeah, death camp look. Oh God, my dad was like, you know, the death camp look. Oh, that's like, what's this summer look? He goes, uh, ribs, and skin and bones. But I'm a big foodie. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I get off work sometimes I'd be so hungry I go, I'm just going to go to mom's and get something to eat. And I order the stuff and eat everything up. I'm like, "Oh yeah, that was so good." And they kind of pick the plate up. They're thinking, "Damn." Yeah. My dad was right. At the age of 12, it was like, boom. Oh shit. Yep, my daddy. That poor man, he had to deal with so much. I can't believe it. He was a real soldier. He was both my mom and my dad. He did best hands down. I miss him. Call him up. Hey, Dad, what you doing? And he would go, sometimes you would get his recording, and be some type of, he'd be like, going, hello, I'm in the Caribbean. I'm enjoying a fine martini. I will get back to you as soon as I can. That is such a BS one. God, I like the one where it sounds like he's on like Star Trek. It's like beep, 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 in the background. My dad's like, "Well, I'm off world right now, and I'm going to be with you in a moment. So I will get back to you as soon as I get back and from Uranus." And that was more my dad. So when my dad had me in school. When my dad had me in school, he had the first one, hello, I'm in the Caribbean. Yeah, he'd be at work and he'd forget that he put his weekend one of I'm in the Caribbean. It'd be Monday. And it was like, it wasn't where you can go online with your phone. Fuck, man, I gotta change that. It's only 6 in the morning. No, my dad's like, oh, hell with it. Nothing's going to happen where a teacher's going to call the home. I think I had to sit in or something like that. I'm going to call your dad. Go for it. Because I knew what they were going to call. Because I knew what it was on. He could have called home and told me to change it. But he was in a meeting. He was like, oh, crap. Oh, shit. I don't got time to call home to have her changed. Because there was different tapes. It was called, vacation. And that was a weekend and weekend vacation. And then you got weekday school. That tape you put in weekday school, you're good to go. And we had pre-recorded ones where you didn't have tapes, but the tape ones were so much more funner for my dad. He had way more fun, so whatever floated his boat, I didn't give a rat's ass. Yeah, they call him. Hello, I'm Rodrigo. I'm I am on my yacht. Oh god, and the music in the background sounded like it was picking up porn. Oh, my dad didn't realize it. I didn't say nothing till I was done in high school. I go, Dad, do you know what this sounds like? And I said, I'm playing the tape. And it was my ex walks in, hey, you're playing porn? Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Oh God, I miss that old man. We used to do. Oh, you ever heard of stand-up comedy wherever you go with somebody? So he's like, I'm like, God dang, I got so many bags here. We're on the second floor. Let's just take, the escalator down. And my dad goes, I look over, oh, you bitch. You got more shopping than me. Oh, crap. We're going to need the escalator alone. He goes, who's going to have the rash? And I go, I'll have the rash. So I'm doing this. And my dad goes, is that rash bad? I go, oh man, it grew. He goes, oh, I have long hair so I can hide the rash. My dad don't. So how big has it gotten? And I go, oh, it's halfway to my bum. And he goes, oh, like that. Oh, no one wanted to go in that escalator with us. Got in, and my dad's like, so, you doing all good? I go, yeah. No one's going to want to sit next to us if we go out to eat. He goes, I'm not hungry, neither am I. Oh, God. I remember I told him, I don't think I want you normal, because if you were, you'd probably be too nice. It was just the funny things to get back at your parents, and you go, I don't got nothing to get back. My dad was pretty good. Actually, my dad could have gotten me grounded a gazillion times. I wasn't. My dad would say, hey, I'm giving you another chance. I'm going to, believe in you. And that's what I grew up. That's why I was always like, in our family, it was tarnishing the family name, So, you had to be, what would they say, a good hair knuckle. Yeah. He would have. Oh my gosh. I remember one time one of his girlfriends wanted a breast augmentation, and he didn't agree to it. He said, oh hell no. Now mind you, she was a D cup and big. He said, how big do you want to be? Ew. No, you're fine. And she went and got it done, and he goes, oh no, I got a sideshow freak as a girlfriend now. He never told his friends or family, but he told me that's what he felt. He's passed on, and I'm sure that lady is long gone. And he was like, oh no. Mm-mm. He had another girlfriend. Oh my God. He was trying to avoid her at one time. He was really pissed. So I was the gatekeeper. That's what she called me. And she would call up. She would start off same. She was a severe alcoholic. And she would be like, hello? And she would say, is your father there? And I'd mimic her. Hello? No, my father's not there. And she would go, call back 3 hours later. Hello? This, is your daddy there? I did not want to mimic that. I really didn't. But I go, no. Usually she didn't call the third time, but there would be times that she would call and it was incoherent. Now, mind you, this is a long distance call back in the day that you were charged sometimes $17 to $20 a minute. And this was going on my dad's telephone bill. And I was trying to keep it short. He said, let her say what she has to and tell her no. He didn't say that I couldn't mimic her. He would sit there and he would listen to me and he would go, well, that's pretty good. I used to do Dr. Ruth so well. I did several school bulletin boards as Dr. Ruth Restheimer. I imitated the voice so well. I still can to this day. My son thinks it's hilarious. He never heard of her, you know? She would be, this is Dr. Ruth Restheimer on Sexually Speaking. Because I used to listen to the damn radio show. They asked how I learned, and I go, I listen to what she talks on. She gives great advice. I was 18 in April, so I was still in high school. By that time, I was like, yeah, I've been listening to her for years. Shoot. I'm 18 now. I'm of legal age to listen to that smut. Because they considered it smut in high school at that age, at that time. I got in for a sit-in because we were expected to be in parts of the high school that had no air conditioning. It was 87 degrees with a 90% chance of humidity. It was horrible in jeans. So they said, well, you can wear leisure pants. What they considered leisure pants was a joke and a half. So I went and got a shitload of people together and said, you know what, we're wearing shorts and we're having a motherfucking sit-in. Yeah. I'm going to call your daddy. And I did do that. I went, oh, yeah. Oh, really? Wow. She seems like an amazing woman. She's still living, by the way. They did a documentary on her. I'm a documentary whore, so I'm like, wow. That's my like idol. Really. If I want to meet anybody, I'm not kidding, over anybody. I want to meet Dr. Ruth Westheimer. She seemed like a cool chick that's smart as hell. Wow. She went into an area of talk show that wasn't even highly visible back then and made a lot of people feel better about themselves. She helped a lot of people, and including yours truly. I'm not going to go on what happened, but she was an amazing woman. And she's still living. She is an amazing woman. Jesus Christ. I loved listening to her, though. When she had, it was called Sexually Speaking. Yes, I'm really good at professions. In fact, I'm a type of person, actor, that could listen to. It comes from my family on my dad's side of impersonations, because my grandfather, back in the time where people were hoboing it, he was on a hobo, and he would go into a small town that had a different dialect. He would imitate that dialect, and people would think that he was some cousin of somebody's, and they would accept him. He would get jobs there for so long. He would make his way out when he figured, it was time to move on. And I can listen to, like, if I listen to certain music or whatever, I can imitate that. you know And I can, if I listen to a lot of movies, how they talk and stuff, I can imitate it after a while. That's why I haven't been watching Harry Potter, because then I start talking like an English person. It's like I got stuck with the dialect. I did, let's see, all of, how can I say, I would say the 18th century Christmas, they have it every year in Holly, Michigan. And I was one of the people that every year I would get coaxed in by my nerd friends. Oh, come on, you can talk English all weekend and just make extra money. What'd you say? You can make extra money. Really? You mean just really? So I started doing that every year. God, I was 18 and doing that. I looked like somebody was 17, so I got away. Actually, I looked younger than that. Good God. I was forever like waiting. When am I going to bloom? When am I going to bloom, God? God, I looked way too young. God's like, yeah, smoke those cigarettes, you'll get old real quick. Like I said, this is what I'm thinking when I smoke weed. Because I know God's not doing that. God bless. You see him. What was it? One time I got real high and I'm sitting there and I'm giggling because what I'm hearing in my mind, I'm thinking that's really funny, if I'm really like got a happy thought and I'm thinking it's funny and I don't think no one else is going to think, I'm just giggle about it to myself. I'd rather look a little weird than a whole lot weird. And one day my son goes, "What do you think is so funny?" And I go, "Well, Devin," and I tell him what I thought was funny and looks at me, "Yeah, you're high." And he walks away. And you're like, "Well, thank you. Everyone's a critic, huh?" Just like my dad's one girlfriend when he wanted to dump her. Yeah, the third phone call was inaudible. I don't know what to say, but no. Oh, God. She always tried to act like she was Miss Perfect, but boy, did I know how. My dad's like, "You're really good at pushing her buttons." And I go, "Dad, please do not marry this piece of work. Really? I really do not feel like moving to England." Got it? Get it? Good. Okay, there we go. We stand right. You see, to own a vehicle back in the 80s over in England is very expensive. And my dad owned a vehicle and let her use it. Apparently, she had a boyfriend and let him drive the car. And when the car got into a huge wreck, we're not going to tell you how, why, when, where, or the wreck was caused. Let's just put it that way. My dad found out though, and then sent her, and instead of calling her up, you can send like someone a fast, like a telegram. So he sent her a telegram. And I remember sending it for him because he was done. That's so done, he had me do the dirty work. Go fuck yourself. Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. I was like, oh boy, daddy is just in a good mood. Yeah, it costed him a lot of money. I'm not going there either. But whew, yeah. Oh boy. And then I became the gatekeeper and I was having so much fun. She even said, "So you're just enjoying yourself, aren't you?" And I go, "Oh, you just do not know." And I hung up. My dad said all I had to do is say no. You just do not know. Yeah, I'm terrible. I don't think this one works. Hello, welcome. Join in, chat, put a thumbs up. And for more talking about stalking, join in and what's that word called? Oh, yeah, join in on the fun each and every evening till my schedule changes. Subscribe. Woo! Right now we're talking about stalking. I'm not jockeying either. Yep. My dad liked that. I said, why are you sending it that way? I mean, this is even, you could have put airmail, used airmail. It's letters that are really light. And for like $10, you send it airmail and they can get it in 24 hours. And back in the 80s, $10 would be considered like almost 50 now. I'm trying to just off the head. But it was for $10, you can get a 24-hour service, boom, airmail. And it could have been to England like quickly split. But he did telegram because it took longer. It took 3 days. So every time she would call, my dad would say, the only thing I want you to say is, you will get your answer in a telegram. And it took 3 days. He said it was worth it because she was on, it's like the next day was 2 days, By the third day, we didn't get a phone call, and he figured out that he was really beyond pissed when he sent the telegram, and he was done. He really was. I never seen him, so no, I don't even want to talk to her. I don't even want to send her a message. She go fuck herself. No kids are in here. Sometimes I have foul language. Sorry. But that's not what my dad, it costed him a lot of money. And he said at that time, it was 1987 and the stocks were not doing so well. He lost his asshole in those stocks. So yeah, he wasn't doing well. He did not need this extra amount of stress and his significant other going out on him. Yep. You're right there. I've never been to England. I have my aunt and uncle met because of me. We went for my birthday I don't know if it was my birthday or my dad just wanted to go or something, but we went to the Queen Mary. And that place is haunted as all can be. I'll tell you that. Well, anyway, they had this area where one of the bolts that they used on the Queen Mary to show, how, big it is, they asked me to go up there and to go through the bolt. And I walked through it. I was, I think, how old was I? I was 6 or 7. And they really thought I was like, what they call a cutie pie, blonde hair, blue eyes, look all cute. Yeah, like my dad says, she turned her back, boy, she's gone. And I was. That's how, drove my parents crazy. So anyway, because of me and the group that they were with, my Uncle Ken had met my Aunt Karen, who's with our group, and they fell in love. And that was how they met. I thought that was so cool. And then I got to see an Englishman try to eat a taco. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my whole entire life. He was like, bloody hell, how do you eat this? Oh, ooh. He would just look at it, his eyes are, you eat with your, what? No. He didn't know what buttermilk was either. You see, I love buttermilk because when you're when milk gives you gas, buttermilk doesn't affect me as bad. So I had a big thing of buttermilk. Mind you, I didn't take a drink of it, but Uncle Ken, he came up, oh, bloody hell, look at this big thing of milk. Ooh. I said, not a word. He was my big pain in the ass bully uncle, and he would do stuff like drink out of my pop, and I was like, I don't want this. You put your slobber and everything. And my grandma go, yeah, I'll get her a new one. You drink that up. So yeah. So he takes that big thing of milk, and my grandma and I are looking at him like, you don't know what you're drinking. He takes a big 2 chugs, clunk, clunk, like Bruno, except he puts it down, his eyes get big, and he spit it out on my grandma. All over. Oh shit! The look on her face. She was bloody hell or not. You leave now. He just he was saying, I'm sorry. No, I didn't know it was buttermilk. Oh. He had his mother stay in California at their house. By the end of the month, because I lived with my grandparents, I can imitate his mother so good. I was calling my uncle's house and going, because I knew she'd be at the library. And I go, oh, darling, I'm at the library. Could you come pick me up? Oh, God. Yeah, phones weren't that cheap. I would call up and say, oh, come pick me up. And he would go, oh, crap, I got to go pick her up. And he would still pick her up at the time he should. I think he had to have known. Or maybe he did what I thought he did. He called the library. Hey, is there so-so? Could you ask her if she needs to be picked up? They can't handle spice either. The English house, excuse me, the House of England, the Queen of England that passed away, and her husband produced children, and it's on his side of the family. It's German. That house has been German since they got together and produced children. Oh God, like I said about the Germans on my side of the family. They're yeah. Yeah, I'll deal with the Polish side. Right, John? Good Polski. I actually have a shirt somewhere. It says about being a Polish princess, and I used to wear it when I was hanging out with my dad. And we were sitting, we were out somewhere, and my dad goes, I think you take after your grandma. And I go, why? You didn't take after your mom. And I go, in what way? Hair? I hope so. My mom was going bald by the time she was 40. But that's neither here nor there. And he said, well, chest-wise, because I hear comments from other people sometimes, and yeah, you won't have to. I go, thank you, Dad. That was odd and awkward. And he goes, well, I go, I know, you're a nerd, you're being too truthful. I go, okay, that's good to know. And then I lost a whole much more weight, and I went, ah, crap. When you lose weight too fast, sometimes it goes out the other way, wrong way. So now I bought, this is no joke. I bought a bra online, the one that says it's supposed to make your bazungas bigger. So I'm sitting there thinking, after smoking a bong full of Fruit Loops and drink some uh, weed. So wow, hmm. I wonder. God dang. I wish I didn't do that DNA test. It would make for fun when I get high, but yeah, and then you wonder about the weirdest stuff, and you're going, wow, you're thinking about it. And then once you like wake up in the morning or something, say you get tired and you're still wondering about that, and you're going to sleep and you're thinking about, wouldn't it be cool? You know how the kids' pants, they have it like just if you don't need to have belts, you just like have a cinch it, like cinch it. That's how some adult pants should be. Just cinch it. Nah, I don't think I'll take. Oh yeah, the old European. Hmm. Now, I never been there, but that would make me want to at least go there, to just to see old workmanship, how it goes, Right. I would like that. You would have to, if you had the money, hire someone that wouldn't want to, like, if you bring them over here to build, they would either be family that you wouldn't mind staying over, or someone that needed a work visa while being with their sweetheart, something to that point. That's how you can work it. I don't know. You would have to bring someone over here who knew it or already knew it over here, how to build like that. See, when I get happy, man, woo-wee, boy, oh boy, when I get happy, oh, I tell you this much, I think about weird stuff. And I'm just like, got a little pickle juice in me. Ooh, delish. My love bottle. Sharing the love. I love doing imitations. And then I was working with one of my coworkers, and I started imitating another coworker, and she's laughing so hard, and I go, yeah, 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 like when that person does this and this, and they're like, oh yeah, yeah, and I go, here, let me do one. And that person would try to do an imitation of that person, and then we're going back and forth on imitations on different people. She goes, you're pretty good, and I go, oh yeah, I know, especially sometimes you can't help it. And it's not because you're making fun of them. It's just sometimes they're funny and they don't see it. They're really funny. Let me show you how to pick up a man. Okay. this is what you do. I'm like, seriously, oh gosh, never mind. It's an inside work joke, okay? It was funny though. Yeah, I would love to make it like the old European. That would be real cool. Have someone who's already here, or maybe someone who needs to come here that knew how to do that. There's a lot of people, like the Amish, they're really good at making old European, I'm guessing. Hire some Amish to do the work. Hire some Amish to clean your house. Hire some Amish to do the work. They're old world style. Oh, I love history. I do. Oh, I love hearing about those documentaries. There's certain people that are my favorites. Lincoln is one. He was like the gentle giant. And then you had um, uh, the one who they wanted to more or less make him almost like a king. Yeah, he had deal with Fort Sumter. Oh shoot, what's the name? Washington. Yes, Washington. Oh, sorry. See, I smoke a little bit of funny and I forget everything. Poland. That's where my great grandma's from. She's from Poland, very religious. I could have gotten so much trouble with that one too. I'm thinking 5 ways from Sunday if my grandma would have caught me instead of my grandpa. You see, uh, Grandma Hair looked exactly, if you see the second movie of Bill and Ted's Adventures, the second one where it showed the grandma, that's what she looked like. I swear to God, she looked like that. So anyway, I thought she was the oldest woman in the world, and I made a sign, the oldest woman in the world, come see, 25 cents a piece. And I was raking in the dough. For me, being about 8 years old, I thought I was raking in the dough. My grandfather came home early and he looked at me and he laughed and he said, "Give me that sign." And he took it all and he ushered the other people out and he burned it up and didn't say nothing to my grandmother. And yeah, she looked like that. That was the German one. Oh yeah, she was. But my one from my great grandmother's stuff that I'm named after, she came from Poland. The other one came from Germany. She was scary. Ooh. Ooh. I watched it with friends who knew of her. And I got phone calls and letters when that movie first came out. Have you seen Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure? No? Oh my God, you gotta go and see it. Why? Oh, I am not going to tell you, but it will make you think that they met your grandma. I swear. Click. So when it came out on VHS video, I bought it. Where I worked at, I can watch TV and watch the story. It was fucking a fabulous job that I ever had. So I bring my kid to work and I'm watching this Bogus Adventure and I'm watching it and I'm getting to the part where they told, my friend said, just wait until they get in the hill. Just wait. So they didn't want me to wait every 5 minutes thinking it's going to pop up. Okay. So I get down and I watch it and I'm like, oh my God. My son first repeating word was, oh my God. My ex thought I had an affair. Hey, you had an affair? Our son's sitting there going, oh my God. And I go, oh, have you seen the videotape? Oh, no, no, no. I saved it to that part. I haven't even finished the movie. That's how, oh my God. Come on, come on. You remember her, don't you? Oh boy, okay. I plopped it in, I put it in, and I wait for it to, come on. Oh my God. Told ya. Looks. Somebody was driving along. This is what I'm thinking when I'm high, and they go, God damn. Wow. Can you imagine that running after you in hell? Let me get a Polaroid of that. Ching! Takes it home. They make that Bill and Ted bogus adventure. You think I'm not thinking about that? Oh, I thought about that at work a lot of times, and I'm giggling. Yeah, because I'm thinking of the guy taking her picture at first and goes, God dang, it broke. Ah, jeez, it's jammed. And finally gets the picture right with the second time. You know how they talk about the English being all this, proper bullshit. Oh yeah, my very proper uncle, all right, from England. Decided, well, my dad was driving and there was a Chips vehicle over, it's California. He decided to moon him. Yay! Thank God we didn't get pulled over. Then, for Christmas, Polaroid just came out. Woo! He took pictures of his bum. Yeah, everyone got to see a full moon. Oh, yeah, it was lovely. Nothing like seeing a full moon. So my grandma thought it would be funny to, change it up, and for Christmas she put his full moon that he mailed for her right in with his mom's Christmas card from her, and said, "This is what your son sent to all of the relatives, not hers, but the Americans." God, that's funny. Oh God, I wonder what she thought. Oh look, we got something in the mail. Oh, I think he needs to go to Betty Ford again. Yeah, that's where a lot of people went. If you had money or really good insurance, like my dad did, you go to Betty Ford. That's what my dad told me if I didn't get other things wrong. You know, it would have been better. He goes, couldn't you be messed up mentally? He goes, no. Couldn't you just, have an alcoholic pill problem? No, I could have sent you to Betty Ford. God, it was other problems. It's called bullies from hell. So yeah, Dad, we send you the Betty Ford. What's the Betty Ford? He goes, oh yeah. Well, that's where people when they have problems with alcohol, Dad, or pill abuse, like Mom, I'm like that. He goes, Mom didn't. I go, Mom loved her diet pills and her other pills that made her like jittery and all kinds of weird shit. And he goes, yeah, okay. My mom was afraid to go with her age. So I had just had my son. He was just a little baby. We had gone out to the restaurant, and I was not in the mood to play games with her that day. Some days I didn't mind, but today, I was like, she was like trying to make out that that was her kid. And I go, she's 90. She'd be gone to the bathroom and I'd tell him that she was 98. Because my dad told me to do that. I couldn't help it. Oh shit. No, I know why he did. So when she came back, they were like, "You are such a young looking grandma." That was it. That was it. Mm-mm. Oh boy, she never went to that restaurant ever again. I swear to my frickin' God. Oh boy, my dad was too much. I miss that man. Call him up when my mom was living, and she would be causing some type of drama. Drama that didn't need to be had. And my dad goes, "Do you want me to call her?" And I go, "Yeah. Yeah, I'll call her. I'll tell her where it is. I'll tell her where to go. I'll drive her there. Leave her fucking ass there. You want me to do that? I'll do that." I go, "Okay." So my dad does that. I get a call an hour later, and he goes, "Yeah, no more problem." And there would be no more problem. I don't know if he talked the whole hour or he had to take a break half an hour. He would call and it was like very monotone. Yeah, it's okay. Because usually if he was pissed, he'd be like, "Yeah, the fucking blah, 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 blah." No. My dad had so much dirt on my mom. He said if he were trying to get rid of the dirt, he would have a mound bigger than the Mount Holly. And I go, "Really?" He goes, "Yes." So I was like, I bet you my dad was just slinging dirty things, dirty skeletons. How about this skeleton? Oh, I got this one, you know? I know who your distributor was. Doo da, doo da. Oh, I know how he worked too. But he didn't ever let me listen to those conversations. I get really good ideas. Yeah, my dad. I miss that guy. Mm. Yeah, my dad. I remember, oh, Uncle Ken meets my boyfriend for the first time. Doesn't know how to tell my dad what he thinks of him. And myself is in the other room and he's making a call, you know, and you can hear him on the other side and he's calling to check up on his house. He has a house sitter. He goes, "Oh man, bloody hell." He goes, "Oh fuck, he's a troll. Oh, no, 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 troll." He goes, "The whole shit." He goes, "Man." He goes, "Oh, no." He goes, "Bloody, bloody house. He's a troll." And I'm like listening to this and he's going, "Oh no, 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 no." He goes, "The one, the ones, the really lazy ones, And he starts talking this brogan, and he goes, "Oh, where they put the trolley up. They put this like where he's underneath the bridge, and he takes over it. Yeah, he's lazy." Oh yeah. Hug me, dogs. Let me talk to him. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah. Okay, I'm good. All right. Talk to you later. Bye. And I'm like sitting there going, "Fuck, man." Oh, guess what? They were right and I was wrong. Okay. That's how I learned what trolls were like in England. Mm-hmm. They moved to America, obviously. Oh, he didn't try to keep it away from me. When he left, everyone's sitting around in, my dad's table. And he looks at me, bloody hell, you're not that ugly. He goes, oh my God, he's a troll. I'm like, oh, like smelly, under the bridge troll. Uh, My dad's laughing. Oh, that's funny. And, they'll start joking around. My dad starts telling troll jokes. Mm-hmm. And your grandma joins in. Yeah, she did. Then your aunt comes in on a couple jokes too, not jokes. And you're thinking, okay. I went upstairs and I'm like, everyone's against me. Oh my God. I don't know what to do. Oh. Take off the glasses, bitch. They talk about, if you could time travel to a certain age and a time, you could change something, what would that be? Fucking common sense. That's what I'm sitting there doing my work at my table. Common sense. Ooh, yeah. And I would invent something better than this. I think I got it unplugged. I would invent something way better than this. I'd invent one that was a black woman with attitude. What do you mean want to know about the weather? You want to know about the weather? You go fucking look out there. Call it Ask Auntie because Auntie is, not a copyrighted name. And I would have that whole thing out there. What do you think? These are the things I'm thinking of when I smoke weed. I don't mind spending some time with you guys. Yeah, I'd put Ask Auntie. It'd be a black woman going, what you all want to know? Don't you got a smartphone? They didn't invent that shit yet. I would have to put the invention before this one if I had to go back in time and stuff. But no. If I can go and do things over, it'd be one thing. But I guess you live and learn. Finally. They I don't know why my mother tried to cook cold cereal, but it said toaster strudel, so she thought you had to throw it in. I woke up to like the fire alarms going off, for like the beep beep beep. I'm like, oh crap, my mom's cooking again. Oh shit. Mom. cold cereal. Look at the directions. Well, I just, oh God, it's not my fault. Well, fuck, who did it? Casper the Friendly Fucking Ghost? You talk like your dad. Brought me up, thank God. Oh, come on. I'm not that bad. Mom, when you had to take care of me, there was a PTA. They begged you not to cook no more because your stuff was nasty. They begged you. They actually paid you not to cook no more. Oh, you're just making that up, I know. They told me that they were fine with their baked goods and didn't want me to cook anything ever again in this lifetime. And she would always try to act like she was so innocent. She tried to steal some stickers. She had Alzheimer's and she said, "Oh, I forgot they were in my hand. I'll buy them. Give me them." I look at her. "You're going to get them next week." Be good to your children, for they stickers. I did. Tried to steal. This is back in when there was a 99-cent store. It was 99 cents. Just tried to zip out. Mom, no. I don't think you want to be tackled by that big guy. Yeah. So, oh, I forgave her way before she passed away. We had a really good conversation, and then 2 weeks later, she passed away. And it was for the best. Her usage of pills had taken its toll for years and years and using it. She had what's called an enlarged heart. And it's nice to have what they call the big heart, but not in reality. And one day she woke up, threw up, and her husband left to go to church. And while he was at church, she died. And when he came back, she was passed away. And he called me up. And I was like, okay, all right, I'll go pray for her. And I did that. And that was it. You know? And that's why I tell people who abuse that, you're really hurting, your body. When you do a lot of pills and stuff. I like my weed. Okay, I'm addicted. Okay, I love my weed. For now, my weed's fun. I think it would be different if I had a love interest or whatever, and I had to, really clean up my act. Uh, I wouldn't be smoking as much weed. I still have the same little bit left from shot. Spicy. Yes, I'm a spicy girl. I'm 25% Swedish, though. Yep. I can get my hair to go totally white blonde in the sun if I really try, so I've been trying it. So I don't have to pay to get it done. I'm going to try to save money. Cut my own hair. I save a little money. Well, at least my things. My hair's got mine. It's thick though. I've been using some different stuff. I use this stuff in my shampoo and conditioner along with my jojoba oil. Oh, my kitty's got the burpsies. My family was hilarious. You see, my mom, she would, oh, what's the word? Oh, my dad used the word shopping for free. I thought, wow, mom's been shopping for free? Woohoo! I didn't know that. That's why we were at the police station. Oh, yep. My mom perfected the way to shoplift. Oh, she was good. She was schmooze everybody for a while, like a couple months before she would like have a good heist. Oh yeah. And then she would just like steal them blind. Oh yeah. Christmas Eve. She did that. Oh, my dad was pissed. My uncle was like, what kind of family? You bloody hell. You know, looked at my mom. It's bloody Christmas Eve. And it was like, oh, he's wearing this hat thing, you know. English people will wear these like funky hat things for Christmas Eve, you know. I call them dork hats, but hey, you know, that's because he was wearing it. And, you know, my cousins, the Ding Dong brothers, thought he was the greatest thing since Jesus Christ. And I go, no. So, anyway, Christmas Eve, we get in trouble. My mom, they let me go. They let, I forget who, if they let my dad was picking us up. He had no idea what that. And he was, I didn't know what she was doing. And, you know, when she was, he had a word he used all the time. And he used it when I dated my ex, you know, schlepping. Well, you're schlepping all over, you know. I don't know where the hell she is. I was going to file a missing person. Oh yeah, he got to go home, take us home, and they asked him, well, you because it's Christmas Eve, we're gonna no, you can keep her in there, and that's what my dad said. Oh, and she stayed the next Christmas Eve. Oh, my daddy was like not happy because by the time he got home, it was no longer Eve; it was Christmas Day. My daddy's like, you got a new Christmas present called you learning a lesson. My dad told me that reason why we don't have a Christmas tree isn't that we're broke, okay? We were broke. He went driving around when people were done with their Christmas, throwing them out. My dad was like picking it up. He would pick it up and he was trying to figure out a good excuse. So he would not announce Christmas until he got the tree. So got the tree, put it in, put our presents under there, boom, boom, boom. And then he's like, okay, everything's set. And he goes over and wakes us up. He said, look, Santa brought us a tree this year. And I'm like all excited and stuff. My dad said, you know, because I was always saying, Dad, man, the year that you brought that tray and everything, and you had all that money to buy this stuff. He goes, I had money to buy the toys. I didn't have money to buy the tree. It was like that's how it went. He goes, I had the toys covered. Your mom took care of the toys. I go, yeah, we know how she took care of that. Shopping free. So he got the tree. Oh God. Hmm. But that was what my dad did when we didn't have money. He'd just wake us up and we'd have a tree. Santa got us a tree. Wow. You had all that. Wow. That tree was all decorated nice, too. Ah, dang it. Ah, shoot. I've been having problems with this one. Yeah, my family is funny. Oh, you going? Can't let your neighbors know. You got a new code word. What is vacation's code word, Grandma? I feel like I'm a spy. Oh, Stefania, don't get old. She would get, oh, don't worry, don't worry. So, one year, our code word, what was it? Picnic? Instead of vacation. Isn't that like, you leave? No, we can't make a picnic. Can't make a vacation. Well, why don't we just say one of our family members went crazy, just going to visit them? Very funny. Oh, we'll say that. More or less, they would say that they weren't leaving. They're going to be watching. We're going to be watching. Well, they didn't have Shark Week, so they would have the Starsky and Hutch reruns, or Starsky and Hutch. We'll be watching loads of Starsky and Hutch. Our neighbors probably thought we were fucking weird. She'd have the TV blaring. Like a deaf person is listening. They're probably thinking, those little fuckers are either dead or deaf. We'll be watching Starsky and Hutch. Oh, my grandmother loved that show. It's Steffi's favorite. No, it isn't. You like somebody on that show. Wink, wink. I'd be winking to my grandmother. I'd be doing this thinking I'm doing the one wink. Yeah. Right, Grandma? Yeah. No. Got my grandmother. I'd get her in the car. We get driving. I learned she can swear like a sailor. I learned some of my good cuss words from Grandma. Oh boy. I learned that there's an MF in this world. Ooh, I heard her. Oh, I go, wow, wee, Grandma. I gotta record that. I never did. Everyone knew, whoever knew my grandma really went, oh yeah, I know. Uncle Conrad, it's grandma swearing. Yeah, she's done that since I was young. She was way worse when she was younger. Oh God, she threw in her fingers. I go, crap. Really? Wow. She was a woman. That would be a feat driving, the older cars. I'm trying to think how you're doing that. I'm like trying to hold it up. Oh man, even the big ones. Maybe it was just one. Maybe it was like real quick. Real quick. I don't know. That's what I was thinking. It was real quick. Yeah. My grandma. She was young when she gave birth, so it was a different time. Yeah. My great grandpa, he was bad. They excommunicated him from the family and never talked to him again. He lived almost into the 90s, and he was like, oh. My dad and I used to joke. He was a vampire. He was vampire. So, soon after he was supposedly dead, my dad wanted to go on an adventure. It was when I would sometimes spend the weekend at Dad's house, you know. You know, because he would cook stuff for me and cater to me. I loved it. I go over there at least once a month and hang out with my dad. And that time he decided to have an adventure. And the adventure was look for great grandpa's grave. Yay! The reality of it is my dad forgot it was winter. So when we got started at 12, we really had 2 hours. It took us 2 hours over in Genesee Valley, Michigan, to go and look around where old grandpa was supposedly buried because we couldn't find the motherfucker over in the graveyard. Now maybe if a family member is watching this, please tell me where great grandpa's buried. I know the SOB was, excommunicated. Who's to say that I'm not going to like pee on his grave or something, Wear a skirt no one's going to see. Squat and go. There you go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, God. So we pull up to a single resident of a house that is condemned. Old fashioned, it's turn of the century, I'd say, you know. It wasn't built in the 60s or 70s. It was old fashioned, like over 100 years. It just looked old and creepy, okay? I'm looking at it going, it's getting sundown. Hey, maybe it's in the backyard. Hey, maybe we'll check it out tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, we'll check it out tomorrow. I'm like, look, you want to go? It's like this. I'll send Daddy-O out there. It's like, you know how the story goes. Daddy goes to check, doesn't come back. Then you're sitting there going, yeah, sitting duck. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How about we check tomorrow? Oh, nah. Maybe next week. And we never checked it out after that. It just, like, never mind. I'm just not in the mood. And I'm not doing that shit alone. Oh, hell no. I'm not going to be having, like, my young son hanging out. Let's go check and see what's in the backyard. Dang it, Devin. Where'd you go? Ah, crap. Lost my kid. Playing investigator. No, no. Get the munchies, go, hey, I got my stuff already here. My dad driving and my Uncle Ken mooning, sending photos of his butt. Oh, God damn, that would have. He was better looking then. He just thought he was just very hot. He would give everyone a piece of his hotness and take a picture of. That's right. What does Polaroid remind me of? Remind me of my crazy uncle taking butt pictures. It's like that Christmas memory you don't want to remember. Polaroid makes how they want to have people remember stuff. So what do you remember about Polaroid? Well, you see, my uncle, he crazy. He from England. You see, he won't go and moon everybody. He took picture of his butt to all my family. Yeah, we got to see his big hairy ass everywhere. And it was just horrible. Man, give him somebody needs a heart attack. So yeah. The funniest thing I remember is when we were traveling. We were going from California. My grandmother did not like flying. I did not know why. She just hated that, but she did when she had to. So we were driving all the way from California to Michigan, and my brother's sleeping and he's snoring. My grandmother takes his socks from his feet and go, "Oh, geez, it smells." And he's snoring and stuff, so she wraps the sock up and puts it to his nose. And then mm, he keeps doing that. He wakes up 15 minutes later and he goes, "Grandma, I had the most wonderful dream." And my grandma goes, "Really?" "Yeah, you know what it was?" "Oh, you tell me." "I dreamt that I was smelling your roses. It smelled so good." I'm sitting there trying to hold and trying to stifle laughter of his bullshit. And my grandma's sitting there going, well, some people, certain smells mean certain things. Maybe that kind of smell just, you just like roses like that, huh?" Just the way she said it. I mean, he was smelling his socks and I don't know what it was. It just, woo wee. Yeah. She put those suckers in a plastic bag, contaminated socks. I remember this. You ever heard of magic fingers? You put quarters in the bed, you magic fingers. I go to take a shower. My grandfather goes, "Well, I'm going to go get some donuts." My grandmother says, "Isn't it kind of late?" I had to deal with a whole bunch of shit. So he gives him $1 worth of quarters, which should be an hour's worth of play because for every quarter was like 15 minutes worth of fingers. Fingers. So, 4 quarters is, an hour. I I hear banging. I walk in, I'm done with my shower, I'm dressed, and I walk in, and the bed is bouncing. My brother's going, I put the quarter in, and the bed just started bouncing and everything. I was like, I was watching, oh shit, Amityville Horror. Plug it in. It was bouncing and shit. And my brother's up on there. I put a quarter in. Look what happened. My uncle. I mean my grandpa unplugged it. He said. He said. So my brother ended up using their bed, and they ended up sleeping on the broken bed. Well, the bed that didn't have the magic fingers. I really didn't care for it. But yeah, it was bouncing up and down like it was possessed. My poor brother. He put it on, he's sitting on the bed, throws the thing in, punches it, I can just see it. It starts slow effort and then it starts because I know if it would have started fast like that, he would have gotten up. But it looked like it gained speed real quick. Oh, funny fuck. Mhm. Oh, my brother. That poor kid. Yeah, me as a sister. I did some things to that poor kid, man. Mm. Oh, I gotta get away with it though. I hid in a closet with hands that were big and googly and hairy, and I had a mask, and then I had like these eye things, and when you press the 9-volt battery that went up to the glasses, it looked like flashing eyes. So I waited in the closet. My dad didn't know I was doing this. When they came in the room, I waited for a couple hours. I waited, I was like, thinking, God damn, I gotta go to the bathroom. Come on, hurry up, motherfuckers. They finally get up here. And it's like going on like 4 hours that you feel about it. You hear them meandering for 2 hours, and you're like, come on, it's on its third hour. They get up there, and I'm like, okay, all right, all right. I jump out of the closet. My one stepbrother pees his pants, and my other brother goes, I'm gonna go tell Dad. And he jumps down the stairs, boom, 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 boom. And you're like, oh, fuck. So you jump into your bed, close the sheets, you have all your costume on. You're like, oh, crap. You hear him coming up. Yeah, Dad, I seen it come out of the closet. It was big and hairy, and it was probably, you know, my sister anyway. Steph Funk, yeah. Yeah, that's who it was. And I'm like, oh, crap. I gotta wait in the bed, you know. And I'm thinking, I'm in so much trouble. My dad goes, okay, all right, we're gonna go, you know, we'll go and see who it is. So he opens up the door. He doesn't like look underneath anything. She sounds asleep. Look. And I'm like, you know, acting like I'm asleep. And my dad closes the door. Well, looks like your sister is asleep. You got a monster in the closet. Well, if you're bad, the monster will just eat you up. That's all. Go to bed. Oh, yeah. My stepbrother complained about how my dad treated him. So she decided that my whole family needed to go on a diet. And those diet breads used to be like half a slice of what a regular bread, and you slice it in half. And I started using my own personal funds to buy my own lunch. So I didn't starve or anything. Well, so I didn't feel starved. So I bought my own stuff. But my dad would have to complain and go, Dad, buy your own stuff. We went on this trip, and they're like, hey, we're selling some lunches, and they showed me what it was. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I want. I got the money. Woo-hoo. So we went there, and they said that students, and I had my student ID, showed them my ID, and I got certain percentage of it. I'm like, yeah. My dad said, he's sitting there at the lunch table. What do you got? Something you don't have? He goes, where'd you get that? He goes, he looks at that as he's walking to the lunch thing. He throws it away. There's like a little single slice of see-through ham. I see through. You could see right through it. Oh, my battery's getting low. There we go. No, there we go. You could see right through it with the cheap, you know, bread. My dad threw that away. He went and got that. The ham, well, was so thick that my dad's like, oh, it was worth the money. It'd be comparable to paying 35 bucks. And for me, it was well worth it. It was a good lunch. It came with, you know, the railroad station thing and a little like commemorative thing. So it was nice, you know. And I enjoyed the lunch, and I was able, being that I didn't eat a big meals all the time, I would eat a little here and there. So I ate half a sandwich and some and the cookie and something to drink, and then later on I'd have the rest of my meal. So, you know. So that's what I usually did. Yeah, my family. Oh, Jane. I'm on a diet. No, no. What diet is this, man? I said you drink 2 liters of Pepsi. I don't know. I mean, my stepmother eats them all the time. What would she do for Klondike, more likely? I told my dad, please do not take me out to eat no more. I really don't need to go to the smorgasbord. go through. You don't get my money's worth with Eric, with my brother, the bottomless pit, and her other son, the bottomless pit. You can make. My dad goes, "Why don't you like to go?" I go, "We go there. It's a 4 hour trip because she spends all the time eating. I have to do homework, so I bring my homework, and I got to hear people making snide remarks about the big elephant." And we're not talking about me. We're talking